सर्वभूतान्तरात्मा परमाध्यक्ष सर्वभूतादिवास साक्षी चेता केवलो निर्मलश्च ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Dear brothers and sisters, on previous Sunday, I told so many things to you who were present here. Before I start today's topic, I want to make it clear that for the God's sake, don't try to find out the poorness of my English. Because I haven't got any good control on this language, and it is only by the inspiration of the God that I will try to explain you about spirituality. But what I want to tell you, what I will tell you, if you will concentrate on that point, then you need not to see the poorness of the language. It's very clear thing. Language is not important. The topic, the thing, the emotion which I want to introduce in you, that is important. So last time, on previous Sunday, I gave so many things, I told so many things. So I want to make it more clear about it. I also explained that that a meditator get what type of experiences. Several experiences will come. Step by step, I explained it. So I will take that topic also. But before that, I want to tell you one thing, that this is a general opinion that spirituality, meditation, samadhi is not a very easy thing. It is a very, very difficult thing. It's not for everybody. It's a general opinion working in human mind that spirituality is a very difficult thing, and to realize the self, to reach the highest goal of the life is not very easy. You see, why this thing is working in human mind? Why this opinion is working in human mind? We must find out what is the reason behind it. The thing is this, that we are all familiar with the worldly standpoint of view. Worldly standpoint. They are only familiar with worldly standpoint. And we are not familiar with the spirituality standpoint. What is the difference between spiritual standpoint and worldly standpoint? What is the difference between these two? Worldly standpoint says that something is better than nothing, right? Worldly standpoint says that something is better than nothing. Now is spiritual standpoint, not right. It's generally something is better than nothing.
Whatever we are doing is good.
But the spiritual standpoint says nothing is better than anything. Difficulty arises. It is impossible for the mind to catch nothingness. The spiritual standpoint says that something is better than nothing. No, nothing is better than anything. Now, how the mind will work on it? Nothingness is impossible for the mind to act. So he put his action in this way, mind, that spirituality is very difficult, meditation is very difficult, because we all have only two main instruments to reach on some conclusion. One is mind, the other is intellect. These are the two instruments which we have. And the base of these two instruments is ego. Its base is ego. So, mind only prepares the proposal. The working of the mind is only it will prepare a proposal. And it will put that proposal towards the intellect. Now it is the intellect to give the decision whether mind should act on that proposal or he should not act. And when an action and reaction or anything will happen, so some experience will come. And the experience will come, then ego will store it with him that it is my individual experience. In this way, ego becomes strong and strong and strong and strong continuously. So, why this spirituality is so difficult? It's not actually difficult. Not at all. It's not difficult, I'm sure about it. So, the one standpoint that something is better than nothing. Spirituality says nothing is better than anything. No, second thing, second standpoint of view. Spiritual standpoint of view says that provide measureless spot, measureless space in your etheric heart, so that the God may get opportunity to play within you. Provide a measureless space in your etheric heart. I am speaking etheric heart. Etheric. In there is a
measureless
space. See, in Gita is a very famous book of India, is a religious book. In that book, Lord Krishna said that where is the God in our life? Hrideshe Arjuna Tisthati. But in the ether of the heart, not heart, etheric heart. So the spiritual standpoint says that provide measureless space. Again, it is a difficult thing for mind. Mind can work on something which is within the measurement. The science, all the development of the science is based on measurement. So the mind only knows how to work on measurements, calculation. But when something comes like this, that measure less space, it is beyond the capacity of the mind to understand it properly. So he acts in this way that it is very difficult. It is not for common man. And this opinion forms in everybody that it is not though when it is very, very useful and as well as a very easy way, if it is properly adopted in the life. Now I want to put another spiritual standpoint. Spiritual standpoint says happening is important than finding. Again, it is a difficult thing for mind. Happening is important than finding. If there is something to find out, if there is something to search out, then the mind will get an opportunity to work on it, to make a plan of it. Ego will also be very happy to act on it. But the thing when happening is important than the finding. And you see,
Again difficult.
it's clear.
No.
In finding, ego is working. In happening, ego will have not to work anything. Anything at any time will happen. God may happen in our life at any time. But in finding, our ego is working. I am starting to find out this thing. I am find out this thing. All this they would. So the third thing that happening is important than finding. Now again, mind feel disturbed because mind know only two way to work. The basic way. One is plus, another is minus. Either mind will add something in your life or subtract something in your life. But when some spiritual man want to open the third dimension of the life, away from this minus and plus, immediately mind react in this way that this is not possible in the life. It's impossible. It's very difficult. You cannot achieve the God realize. You cannot reach that. All these very things your mind will put towards us. So actually, spirituality is not difficult. The difficulty is so long as we will allow the mind to react and act, he will put all these things. Now, after that, I am taking that previous Sunday topic. In that, I told the persons who were present here on that day that when you will proceed in spirituality, in meditation, the first experience will come what's the word? Aroma?
Divine aroma.
Divine aroma. Divine smell. The first experience will come as a divine smell. This is the first thing which will come. Now when you will proceed further, go subtle and subtle into the meditation, the second experience will come as a divine sweetness in the life. Now when you will proceed more, go in the deep and deep and deep and deep and deep, then divine light will come in your life. When you will again proceed further, then divine touch will come in your life. When you will go another depth, take the depth, go in subtle and subtle and subtle, then divine sound will come in your life. And when you will go another, proceed further and further, then the divine vibration start to work in your life, the crown of the brain. I told on that day that this in yoga we call it Sahasdal Kamal. Actually, it is just like a piano, a musical instrument who has so many points here. They all start to vibrate at a time, and a very good feeling of blissfulness comes in our life. And I also told that after that, the highest state of samadhi, super consciousness, will take the charge of the life. Now I want to tell you something about it. That when the first experience, that divine aroma will start to come in your experience, there will a sublimation will take place in your life. Lust will sublimate, and it will become a creative aspect of your life. Lust will sublimate and it will take a creative aspects of your life. Now when you will proceed further, and divine sweetness will come, then the anger will sublimate into forgiveness. Step by step, anger will sublimate into forgiveness. When you will proceed again in this subtle, then when the divine light will come, then greed will sublimate and donation will take the place.
Generosity.
Generosity. When you will again move further and further and further, subtle and subtle and subtle, and the divine touch will come in your life. By that divine touch, attachment will sublimate into detachment. Clear? Attachment will sublimate into detachment. You are not doing anything. Here ego is not working. If you will take a vow that I will not allow attachment to work in my life, then you are taking something basic base is ego there. And here ego is not working. By the process of the meditation, by everything in a natural way is taking a change in your life, a transformation is taking place in your life. Now when you will enter another circle and divine sound will start to work, then ego will sublimate into egolessness. Ego will take the shape of egolessness. When you will go another subtle and reach to the crown of the brain, then a very important thing takes place. Sublimation of asmita. In our yoga, we use the word asmita. What is this asmita? Ahankar is for ego. And what is this asmita? I think you know? No. What is the difference between ahankar and asmita? In ahankar, I am. In ahankar, the feeling is I am. This is ego. Now when the ego will sublimate, then I will be sublimate in egolessness, but I am will remain there. That I am is called asmita. In our Sanskrit Hindi language, मैं I, I am. So there is a difference between ego and asmita, ahankar and asmita. Ego will sublimate when the divine sound will start. But when the divine vibration will start, then the I am will also finish. And then what will remain there? Say nothingness, or say is will remain there. Is. I started a mission in India giving the name Is Mission. Why? There are so many names given to the God, and the pupils are quarreling on the name baselessly. So I search out a name, is the inspiration for the God side. Then instead of putting so many names, it is better to put that is. Who is present in every present, who is, that is God. So I started a mission there, Is Mission. So then is will remain. And when the is will remain, that is the last stage of meditation, is called Nirvikalpa Samadhi, Asampragyata Samadhi, or Nirvija Samadhi. There are so many names, but the achievement is one. So this is the topic which I gave you on that day. I make it clear more. Now, I want to tell you something more about spiritual life, and one thing is coming in my mind, that in India, the rishis of India, the sages of India, put three ways towards me. They introduced three ways. One is योग, Gyan, Yoga, Gyan and Bhakti. You see, first I should take the problem of our life. One problem of our life is abnormality. One problem of our life is abnormality. The second problem of our life is illusion and misery. And third problem of our life is dryness, dry life. Shushk zindagi. Dry, if is any another proper word for dry life?
Barren life.
Barren life. You see, my poor English is how much? Barren life, dry life, but I will use dry life because barren I may forget it. So barren life, dry life. They are the three problems of the life.
The first one, I didn't get that.
Abnormality. First is abnormality. The second is illusion and misery.
Illusion.
Illusion and misery. Because you see, from the last 50 years, I had no connection with English language, and I came here by the invitation of these two persons. They blessed me very much, and I don't know what is the interest. I have a good ashram in Delhi and in Allahabad at two places. When I was about to depart from there, the persons who came to know that I am going India, they inquired somebody, what for you are going in India? When I am not giving all good service to you, what for you are going? What is the interest there? So without giving any information to anybody that I am going in,
They slipped out.
and came here. Now they will come to know that now I am in America. So, you see, there are three ways introduced by our rishis, sages. One is Yoga, another is Gyan, Yoga Marg, Gyan Marg, Bhakti Marg. Yoga will provide normality in your life.
They say yoga.
Yoga will provide normality in your life. Gyan will provide
Knowledge.
no
Not Gyan.
clarity,
They don't know Gyan.
uh,
Gyan.
knowledge. Yoga will provide normality to your life, and this Gyan, say knowledge or wisdom, it will provide clarity and joy in your life. And Bhakti, devotion. Devotion will provide juicy life. These are the three things. Correct?
Yeah.
Juicy life, Bhakti will provide. So in my search, all the three is essential for one life. Though they are saints, they are persons who will insist that yoga is the independent way. For yoga, this wisdom is not required, bhakti is not. In the same way, one who is making the propaganda of the bhakti, they will say bhakti is independent in self. The persons I saw in India also, they will on the road chanting Sri Krishna, Hare Krishna movement.
Hare Krishna, yeah.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, they are chanting. I don't know why they want to exhibit themselves on the road. Exhibition is not a good thing in life. So there are three ways which the sages, science introduce, and I recommend all the three to come in their life. You may start from yoga, let the wisdom may come in your life, and then bhakti. What is bhakti? Bhakti is love and faith. When the both will combine, that is called bhakti. So love is the highest stage of the in life. So love is God. Jesus said love is God. Swami Ramtirtha, a very famous saint of India, he said, love is God, God is within you. So These three things are essential. Now, I want to tell you another very important thing about spiritual life. Very, very important thing. You see, we are doing something, we are talking something, we are acting something, we are walking also, we are talking also, and it is not possible to keep all these things away and stop it. So far as we are in this world, we will do also, we will talk also, we will walk also, we will speak also. Now the main thing, if you try to catch it, that what is a spiritual life actually? It's a very important point, very, very important point. You see, I have gone through 2 books of written by Deepak Chopra. Deepak Chopra, 2 books. One is Quantum Healing, and another is Timeless
Body and
Ageless Body and Timeless Mind. So very attractive word he selected, but he could not be able to give a good solution of it. Now the main thing is, do and try to catch it properly. Do as you are not doing. The moment you will get this opportunity, then you can only see that I am a spiritual man. Do as I am not doing.
as if I'm not
No, as if. Do as if I am not doing. Talk as if I am not talking. Walk as if I am not walking. Now you may do anything in this world, no obstacle can put towards you in your spiritual life. Your life will be full of bliss. Do as if you are not doing. So just imagine, you cannot, because unless and until the obstacles of this life which mind puts towards us will not be, you will not kick out to them. It's a difficult thing, but it's easy also. Do as you are not doing. Talk as you are not talking. When you take this point that I am doing this, then the doer is present there. And this doer is ego. And the ego is the biggest obstacle on this self-realization, God-realization. So what is the correct way to live a spiritual life? You do all these things, but do as if you are not doing. Walk as if you are not walking. Talk as if you are not talking. Then there will be no pressure on your mind. The thing will come in a very normal way. But it will take time. When you will do meditation, go in its depth, then you will get the opportunity to realize what is the real meaning of spirituality is, what spiritually want to introduce in the human life. Now, I want to give you
12, 12,
ज़्यादा तो नहीं बोलना हम चाहेंगे.
10,
हाँ?
5, 10.
So now I am taking in another very important point. A very, very important point. The most favorite and popular word of spirituality is wholeness, completeness.
Integral.
Huh?
Integral.
Integral, the meaning is the same. Why I should use the integral? This word I know better. Wholeness, completeness. So this is a very important part. Wholeness, completeness in the life. You see in this world, in which we are living, except human. Every part of this world is living a complete life, a whole life, wholeness is there. See the fun. Except human, every part of this nature. You see, these trees are complete tree. You cannot say that this tree is incomplete. A lion is a complete lion. A dog is a complete dog. A snake is a complete snake. Every part of this universe is working in completeness, and this is the reason that they are all sorrowless and worryless. Is there any sorrow to these trees? Because they are complete. Why this thing came in the human mind or human life only, that we are living an incomplete life. We did some mistake with us in tackling the life properly. Every part of this universe, I really surprised to see this, that wherever I see completeness is there, everything is complete.
Nature.
In nature, in animals, in snakes, everywhere you feel a snake is a complete snake. You can put any word. You see, in India we say if somebody will not do work properly, gadhe ko aise kehte hain, gadhe ko.
Or a donkey, but here they call ass or kind of thing.
So in India, if somebody will not do some work properly, we will say that you are working just like a donkey. How I may be able to put donkey in one's life? Because there is a space. But I cannot use this word donkey to any tree. A tree, a lion, you are a donkey also. Because they are all complete. They are all living totality. They are all living in fullness. Except this human. Incomplete life. So the goal of our life is how to make life to a totality. And that totality, that completeness is called the God realization. Actually, that completeness, that wholeness is called the God realization. Now, should I ask a question to you? If one separate will join to another separate, will he become whole?
You mean two individuals will join?
Yes, if one separate will join to another separate, will he become to whole? No. If one separate will join 100 separates, will he become whole? If one separate will join the total population of America, will he become whole? So there is some mistake in our life, and that we have to remove from our life. And for that, meditation is very, very essential. Because by the help of meditation only, you may be able to reach the wholeness of the life, totality of the life, completeness of the life. Then the life will full of joy. Now I want to.
Yes.
I want to complete it. Now something about meditation. Again, I want to tell you something about the meditation. In first step of the meditation, the mind will become introvert. First step of the meditation, mind will become introvert. Now in the second step of meditation, mind will dissolve all the negative thoughts from you. Second step of meditation. Now in third step of meditation, the dullness of the mind will be removed and alertness will take place there. Dullness will be removed, alertness will be take place. Now on fourth step of the meditation, when the meditation will reach in the fourth step, then a single focus will come in the mind. Now again, when the meditation will go another few steps inside, then that single focusedness will enter in your unconscious and subconscious mind. And now on sixth step, the individual consciousness will throw its light in your subconscious and unconscious mind. And after that, in the end, the last, the universal consciousness will take the charge of your life. If in a practical way, if I want to tell you what is the spirituality, means a universal and impersonal point of view. When it will come, it means the spirituality is there and a wholeness and totalness is there. That's all. I think it is quite sufficient. You must think over it, that why are you living a incomplete life? Why wholeness is not in your life? And you find out.
You sit through this, whatever he has said, and you write down the questions. Whenever there is a new next meeting, he'll answer it.
What did you say?
Om Shanti.
Given us a lot to think about, to absorb, and to integrate in our lives. And we're just very blessed that he's here, that he's available for us to get the most in our spiritual lives from him. So it's up to us how much we want to utilize him.
How much we want to ransack him.
Because he's got the goods, and if our hearts are really searching and our minds really want to have that completeness, then he's here for us in that way. We have some things available. Swamiji's books are here, and these wonderfully charged pendants. Charged with the Holy Guru Mantra, Swamiji. It's very powerful for healing, removing any obstacles, very protective, and also wonderful for meditation. We have some flyers there describing the effects of what we call touch therapy. And we'll also have some meditation sessions in mind in the future. We have a sign-up sheet for those that would be interested in attending meditations weekly. And then Swamiji has offered for anyone who wants to have something to work with in their own meditation. Swamiji recommends rose and jasmine oil in a certain combination to use as a meditation, what Swamiji calls aroma meditation. And at some time in the future, we can have a session if you're interested in that. In the meantime, you can just get jasmine and rose oil if you like, and you can whenever next time we meet, you can bring that, and Swamiji offered that he will take it and get it charged for our meditation, and then it will be just returned to you. Yeah, but it's a wonderful way to meditate, and Swamiji has his own way that he, his own technique for doing this sort of meditation. In the meantime, we can at least use it as a conducive way to help us by having his energy, his vibration, his spiritual power charged with that. And then
question. But
Yeah, there's something else that I wanted to, and, well, the way to really get the essence of the spiritual power is through mantra, and for those who would like to have more information about mantra initiations, you can also sign up and inquire about that. This is the way that you can really
okay.
connect with the master, with that power and a seed of that is planted in us through this initiation. So if you want information about this, you can also sign up there. And in the meantime, any questions or some sheet, some cards, if you have any questions, you can just write them down, and in the future, Swamiji will address them as well. So very, very fortunate that he's here, and it's up to us how much we want to get into the practice. He has all the tools for us to really advance ourselves in sadhana, spiritual practice, and this also helps in our worldly life. So it's really not separate. Swamiji was just speaking about wholeness, unity. So as we strengthen our spiritual energy, spiritual Shakti, it helps us in all walks of life. It has healing power as well. It just helps us on every level. For example, these pendants, we can use them for physical healing or for relaxation or meditation this way. So, so express this to you, and thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Jai.